let's just take a moment to reflect that Austin Light Rail did survive the legislative session. As you all know, legislation was filed during this session. The session ended yesterday, and the legislation that was filed was expressly intended to overturn the will of Austin voters and kill Project Connect. There were multiple reasons given. They shifted from the filing of the legislation all the way up to last week, but the goal was always to prevent Project Connect. It was admitted to us, and it was evidenced by how the bill progressed. Throughout the legislative session, we negotiated in good faith with the objective of protecting this long-sought community investment for generations to come. If the deal that was made in the House had been honored, there would be legislation today. But as I said, that didn't go along with what everybody was attempting to do, which was make sure that we didn't go forward with Project Connect. There was a hastily drafted Attorney General advisory opinion that while that isn't law, it was used to justify a proposed amendment that essentially rewrote the House version of the bill and would have prohibited the lawful financing of Austin Light Rail. We worked with Representative Busey and the House delegation, and we were able to stop that amended version of the bill. And now, maybe ironically, we have a clearer path forward thanks to that same Attorney General opinion and advice. The governor has called a special session. This issue is not on the governor's call. However, we will be vigilant. We could also, and we anticipate, see litigation, particularly from those who lost the election in 2020 and attempted to use the legislature to undermine the will of the voters. But for now, we are going to take a deep breath, take mature, thoughtful action to move the voters' vision forward promptly, and we can continue to look forward to the day when light rail is up and running in Austin, Texas. The Austin Light Rail Implementation Plan we're discussing today is the joint recommendation of the staff from the City of Austin, Capital Metro, and ATP. Today we'll have at the table briefing us almost 100 years of planning and or engineering experience in working on big, complex transit projects. Of course, you can add to that the hundred more years of staff and consultant expertise that's been involved in this. This recommendation that we're hearing is based on their technical expertise as well as the extensive public feedback that was received during the 6-week community engagement process. On March 21st, we started with 5 alignment options plus 2 ways to cross the lake and a key decision about whether light rail would be elevated through downtown or run along the streets. More than 7,000 community members weighed in on these options. Over the course of the community engagement process and with additional technical analysis, this option that we're going to hear about emerged as the clear choice for the joint staffs. In addition, the Community Advisory Committee has also endorsed this option, and after the staff presentation, we'll call up the chair of the CAC to discuss the recommendation of the CAC. From my perspective, staff has done, all 3 staffs, everybody that's been involved in this has done a stellar job over the last several months to develop the options for light rail and to engage the community on what option will work best. And I want to thank them before we even get started for their great work done under trying circumstances. As a community, we have taken on an endeavor as big and complex as delivering a light rail system. We have never done that before. This is an enormous challenge, and we all need to be flexible, we need to be nimble, and we need to be open to new information so that we don't get in the way of delivering light rail to our community. But it's good to be at this point. And with that, I will turn it over to the panel to give us the briefing.